So the question is known as two sum, and this is the question number one on lead code, and the category is easy. So this is the first question on lead code that we are going to solve. So given an array of integer and an integer target, return index of two numbers such that they add up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. So what it is saying, there is one array and there is one target. Add two element of the array that will return 9 and exactly one solution will exist, and then you have to return the indexes. All right, so this is the question that we have to solve. And now you can read out the constraint. Only one valid answer exists. Can you come up with an algorithm that is less than O(n) square time complexity? It means in one single for loop, we have to find out the solution. So first, let's discuss the easiest solution and the naive approach, that would be just use a nested loop. It is not allowed although, but first we are trying to understand using a nested loop. We can easily get this. So what we'll be doing is we can simply take one element and try to add with all the elements. Whenever we reach target, we can return. The solution is very simple. So the question is known as two sum or pair sum. All right. And you can just copy the cases from here to take a reference. So now let's create one file, name as pair sum.java. The first approach that I'm going to try is static void approach one. I'll be passing two things. One is array, second thing is the target. Now after passing array and target, the first thing we are going to do is to use a nested loop. So we will do sum of current element with other elements of array. So int I equals to 0, I less than array dot length, I plus plus. Then for int j equals to I plus 1, then j is less than array dot length, and then j plus plus. Now if you are initializing j with I plus 1, so you have to write array dot length minus 1. Okay, because that will give error on the last index. Now what I'll be doing is do sum of array of I with array of j, and now if sum become double equals to with target, so it means there is the solution available. Now let me print the pair. So the pair is I index and j index. So we just have to print the indexes. All right. So this is the first solution, that is the naive solution to print the pair. And once a solution is found, simply return from here. So how this solution is going to work? It's very simple. You have one array 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. And now this is the array, and the target is to achieve, let's say, 11. Okay, we have to get 11. Actually, we'll get 11 in the first iteration. So I starts with 2. So I array of I contains 2. So 2 add up with 4, with 6, with 7, and with 9. So once I add 2 with 9, I get 11, and that's it. It means element available. So if 11 was not there, if some other element was there, so what I have done is, then let's say I start with 4 and add 4 with 6, 4 with 7, 4 with 9. So this is how we have to keep on adding the elements and check if sum becomes equals to target. So this is the first approach to find out if the element is, if there is a particular pair available. Definitely there will be one pair available. We just have to print the index of it. Another solution that we can try is using a hash map. Okay, so let's say if I am going to use one hash map, it means I am going to use one extra space. So this program will take time. So this was the time complexity O(n) square. This is going to take time O(n), but also space complexity. So the time complexity will be O(n) and space complexity will also be O(n) because we are going to use one extra hash map. Okay. So let us understand why we are using hash map. What approach I'll be trying is, suppose this is the array that is given to you and the target is 11. All right. Now, if this is the question, what I will do is, what if I subtract 2 from 11, then I get 9. So let us store 9 as a key in your array and value as something like 2 you can store. Okay. So 9 as a key I have stored. So it means I just need to search 9 if 9 is available. Then I will subtract 4 from the 11. So 11 minus 4, I'll get 7. So another solution will be 7, 4. Then I will subtract 6, 11 minus 6, and actually on each iteration I am checking if it already exists. So 11 minus 6, I'm going to check will return me 5. So I will store 5 with 6. Then I have 7, 11 minus 7. Actually, I found the solution because now once I see 7 is available in array, it means solution exists because we already have stored 7 and 4. So I can directly return the index of 7 and 4. Simple enough. This is how we can use the hash map. So first, let's initialize the hash map. And when we initialize hash map, we have to tell the data type of key and value. So the data type will be integer for key and integer for value. Name it as map, and it is going to create a new hash map object. So we have the object of hash map first. So in what order we are going to store the data? In key and value pair. So let us retrieve the elements one by one. Int e colon array. Now in this array, I will check if I have already, if map already contains that particular key value or not. So if map dot get e double equals to null, it means the element does not exist inside the map. Put it, just put map dot put that target minus element and store element as value. Otherwise, we got the solution. You can just print the pair. Okay, so the pair will be map dot get element and the current element. All right, so this is it. And then you can break the loop. So how exactly this solution is going to work? Let me tell you quickly. So suppose you have one array that contains 1, 7, 3, 5, 6, 2. This is the array. Now the desired, the required output is, let's say 9. No, not 9. We can take anything. Actually, we can take any pair. Let's take 8. Okay. So 5 and 3 could be 8. 2 and 3 could be 8. So I am going to consider 9 could be there. 7. Let's take let's take 12. Okay. So it means 7 plus 5 we are doing. So we are simply going to take 7 plus 5. All right. So 12 is the target. This is the target. So let us understand how hash map will work. Initially, hash map is empty. There is no key and value pair available initially. So I am going to check for first element 1. So I am simply checking if map.get 1. So do we have 1 available in map? No. Then target, that is 12 minus 1, that is 11. So store 11 as a key and 1 as a value. Next element comes 7. So do we have 7 in our hash map? No. So 12 minus 7 is 5 and store 7 with it. All right. So it means whenever 5 will come in my next iteration or anywhere, it means solution exists. Now comes 3. So I'm checking 3 exists in my hash map. No. So 12 minus 3, 9. So 9 stored with 3. Now comes the next element 5. So it will check whether do you have 5 in hash map? Yes, there is a 5 in hash map. So that's it. We found the solution. So map.getE, it will return you the 7 and E contains 5. That is 7 plus 5, 12. So this is how HashMap will help you to get this solution. I hope this HashMap solution is clear to you. So what we are doing, we are just subtracting the current element from the target, and whenever another pair will come, it is already there. So we will just check in HashMap if it already contains that particular element. So simply go to the else part and then print that element. So let's now talk about the third approach, that is going to be the optimized one. Because till now both the approaches are not optimized. In the first approach we were using nested loop. In second approach we used extra space. That's why space complexity were ON. Okay, so now the third approach will be the optimized, and let's talk about it. So now what we'll be doing is, let's name it as Pearson optimized. Now we already know that there is a two-pointer approach that we know about, that we used in a program to reverse the array. So we already know about this approach known as two-pointer approach. So we are going to use this two-pointer approach to solve this question. All right. So suppose I have a function known as solution. In this, I'll be passing array and the target. So there are two arguments that we are going to pass. One is the array and second one is the target. Now, according to the pair sum question, what exactly it was asking you to do, it was saying that if you have an array like this, and you need to find out one pair whose sum is equals to the target. And suppose target is equals to 9. Okay, so this is the target that we need to achieve. So according to two pointer approach, what we generally do, we put two pointers. One pointer is placed at 0th index, another pointer is placed at last index. Then we compare these two, like if the requirement was to reverse the array, so we swap I with j. But now we don't have to swap. What we have to do, we have to do 2 plus 6. Now, if we do 2 plus 6, we will simply get 8. In the second step, what we generally do is we increment the I variable and decrement the j variable. So if we increment the I variable and decrement the j variable, so you will get 4 and 3. So you will add 4 with 3. So it becomes 7. Now the third step will be again increment and decrement ij. So it will become 7 plus 5. So it becomes 12. But still we can see solution is not found. Because we have only tried three pairs. Okay, so we have to use two pointer, but not in this way. All right, we will use two pointers, but not in this particular way. So we'll be doing one simple thing, that before adding up elements like this, first of all, we are going to sort the array. First of all, we are going to sort the array in ascending order like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, why we sort it? Because in order to use the two pointer approach and do the addition of two elements, this time we won't be incrementing and decrementing ij at same time. We'll increment I or decrement j. Either of the operation will be performed, not both of them at once. So suppose initially I is here and j is here. In the very first step, we can see if I add 2 with 7, we'll directly get the target 9. So let us change the target. So just assume target is something else. Simply, let's say we have target available as 12. Okay, this is the target. Or instead of 12, I'll say 11. All right, this is the target that we have to achieve, that is 11. So how we are going to achieve 11? Let's talk about it. So the first thing is, if you will add 2 with 7, you will add 2 and 7. It becomes 9. Our target is 11. Our target is 11. So now instead of moving both I and j simultaneously, just add increment I variable. Why increment I variable? Because you are still not able to reach the target. So I have to increment the from the lower side. All right, now we have 3. So it will become 3 plus 7. It becomes 10. Still, it is less than target. So again, move I. So now it is 4. Now you will add 4 plus 7. It becomes 11. Now finally you reach the target. So this is how we are going to reach to the target. So I hope it's clear to you that how exactly we have to move. Now, if there was certain case that you have to move from the right side, like when we are going to move j to the right, in only those scenario where you'll get the sum that is greater than the target. So now if my sum is less than target, I'll move j. Else I'll move, sorry, if my sum is less than target, so I'll move the I variable. Otherwise, I'll move j. I'll decrement j. So before implementing this, we just have to perform sorting. So in order to perform sorting, we will directly use arrays.sort. All right. And if we use the sort function, what sorting technique or what will be the time complexity of sorting will be having? Let's go to this function directly. So it is actually using a dual pivot quick sort algorithm and will give you O n log n time complexity. So our program time complexity will be O(n) simply, but n log n is greater than n. So that's why the complexity of the program will be n log n. But still it is less than what the question suggests or ask. So I'll be taking int I equals to 0, j equals to, let's say, array dot length -1. Then I'll be using a while loop while I is less than j, and simply check if array of I, if we add array of I and array of j and you reach the target. If the sum of array I and array j is double equals to target, so that means pair is found here. So you can simply print your pair or you can return the pair indexes, whatever it is asking in question. This is what we will get in the output. All right, now comes the condition that we need to put, that if array of I plus array of j is less than k, then I will simply increment the I variable. Otherwise, else if array of I plus array of j is greater than k, then I will decrement the j variable. K means target. All right, that's it. This is the only thing that we have to do. Now we will move from the left side only when we are not able to reach the target, we are less than the target. Now, if we are greater than the target, so we will decrement the j variable. So this is the two-pointer approach that we have used to solve this particular question. So if we talk about the disadvantage with this particular approach is that the indexes are changed. Now we can see I, j belongs to some other indexes, and in real time, the indexes will be different. So basically, what we'll be doing is, let me just show you, because if you will try to write here array I and array j, that will give you the correct answer, but not the indexes. Now, if we go to the question, according to the question, we have, so it is actually asking you the indexes of two elements. Now, in this, it is saying that you don't have to come up with the complexity of O(n) square, it must be less than. So what we'll be doing is, we'll be using this strategy of hash map that contains space complexity as well. Okay, you can try to run and submit this code. So let me just submit and you will get the results. So you can just put the, so it's the accepted solution. Now what exactly I did, let me show you. I have simply taken one array, result array. In this result array, I'm just going to store the indexes, those indexes only which I have to return. So that's why the third solution, you can say we are using only one loop, but the problem is we won't be able to submit this because indexes will be changed after sorting. So we have different kind of solutions to this particular question.